Dear student, we will continue with cellular respiration. Today we will discuss Krebs cycle. But before that, we will discuss intermediate step which occurs after glycolysis. Now, during the glycolysis, the glucose is anaerobically break down to pyruvate. Now, what happens to pyruvate is the next step. The pyruvate formed during glycolysis in cytosol will now enter mitochondrial matrix and undergoes oxidative decarboxylation. So, you can see this reaction. Two molecules of pyruvate were formed during the glycolysis and they are converted to now two molecules of acetyl CoA. CoA stands for coenzyme A. Now this reaction is catalyzed in mitochondrial matrix and is catalyzed by the enzyme pyruvate dehydrogenase complex. So this enzyme is a complex which in turn consists of different enzymes and coenzymes. So if you look at this complex structure, it has three different enzyme pyruvate dehydrogenase which catalyzes the oxidation reduction, pyruvate decarboxylase which catalyzes the decarboxylation, and transacetylase which catalyzes the acetylation. With this, many coenzymes are there which are required for the function like lipoic acid, coenzyme A, thymine pyrophosphate, NAD, FAD. FAD is flavin adenine dinucleotide which is synthesized from vitamin B2 riboflavin. So if you look at the structure of pyruvate, there is acetyl group and which is there in the pyruvate. So basically coenzyme A, which is a coenzyme, it transfers this acetyl group, okay, and then form acetyl CoA. So acetyl group is transferred to coenzyme A in presence of pyruvate dehydrogenase complex, and this catalyzes formation of acetyl CoA, and this acts as a fuel for Krebs cycle. Now this enzyme require 2 NAD, okay, and the NAD, it is a coenzyme, it takes up the protons from the pyruvate and get converted into NADH plus H. Two molecules are required. Why? Because there are two pyruvate which are formed from the one molecule of glucose. So therefore 2 NAD are required here. Okay. And this also catalyzes decarboxylation. So this COO is removed as CO2. So 2 CO2 are formed because two molecules of pyruvate are there. So this is the intermediate reaction in which the pyruvate is converted to acetyl CoA by dehydrogenation, decarboxylation and acetylation, which is catalyzed by different enzyme present in the complex. So if you see the overall reaction, pyruvate plus NAD plus coenzyme A converted to acetyl CoA, NADH plus H and carbon dioxide. Now we will move to Krebs cycle. This is also known as TCA cycle, that is tricarboxylic acid cycle. Now Krebs cycle is the series of chemical reaction in all aerobic organisms to release energy through the oxidation of acetyl CoA or coenzyme A derived from carbohydrate, fat and proteins. So this is a common pathway for carbohydrate, fat and protein metabolism. It means what? Like we have seen glycolysis for the breakdown of glucose. Similarly, if the fat and protein has to break down for the energy formation, then commonly their intermediate form acetyl CoA, and then Krebs cycle is the common pathway for the further metabolism for the energy purpose. So it is there in case of carbohydrate, fat and protein also. So Krebs cycle generate NADH and FADH2 which later on feed to the respiratory chain to generate the ATP. Krebs cycle also play an important role in the flow of carbon through the cell by supplying precursor metabolite for various biosynthetic pathway. So whatever different metabolites are there, what are metabolites? They are the intermediate which are formed during the metabolism. They are also known as substrate for one particular enzyme and product of another enzyme. So those metabolites which are formed during the Krebs cycle, they are also acting as the metabolite in some other pathways also. Okay, so that's why Krebs cycle play important role in the flow of carbon. So we will see in the Krebs cycle what are the metabolite that are formed, and what is Krebs cycle and what all intermediates are there. So we know that acetyl-CoA is generated during the intermediate reaction. This combines with oxaloacetate. Now here you can see the structure of oxaloacetate. It is 4 carbon compound. It has 2 carboxylic group. Okay, so the first reaction is the oxaloacetate combined with acetyl-CoA, which is a 2 carbon, and forms 6 carbon compound citrate. So we will say that citrate is the first intermediate that is formed in the Krebs cycle, and this reaction, that is condensation of acetyl-CoA with oxaloacetate, is catalyzed by the enzyme citrate synthetase. So citrate is there. You can see it is tricarboxylic acid. That's why Krebs cycle is known as citric acid cycle or TCA cycle. Okay. Now, if you see that citrate is now converted into cis aconitate. This is the intermediate which is formed for the short time. Isomerization occurs, and again the same enzyme catalyzes the formation of isocitrate. So there is simple isomerization and reorganization of citrate into isocitrate. Okay, so here is the isocitrate. You can see OH position which was located on whatever 1 to 3rd carbon. Over here it is located on the 5th carbon. Okay, so isocitrate is also 6 carbon compound. Now further isocitrate is converted into alpha ketoglutarate. If you look at the structure of alpha ketoglutarate, so one of the COOH is removed in the form of CO2. So decarboxylation occurs over here. Okay, so COO, this is removed as CO2, and this reaction is catalyzed by isocitrate dehydrogenase, which also catalyzes the decarboxylation. So this is oxidative decarboxylation. Now oxidation is also going on. The NAD takes up the hydrogen ion from the substrate and converted into NADH plus H. So both the reactions are there. Oxidation is also there and decarboxylation is also there, and isocitrate is converted into alpha ketoglutarate. Now alpha ketoglutarate, next step is converted into succinyl CoA, succinyl coenzyme A. So if you look at this, alpha ketoglutarate, which is 5 carbon compound, is converted to succinyl CoA by the enzyme alpha ketoglutarate dehydrogenase complex, and this again catalyzes another decarboxylation. So this is the second decarboxylation reaction. Okay, and again oxidation is there. So NAD is going to pick up the hydrogen ions from the alpha ketoglutarate and convert it into NADH plus H, and it removes this COO as carbon dioxide. So again oxidative decarboxylation is there, and this result into the structure called succinyl CoA, and here the coenzyme A, okay, this coenzyme A is also added and it get converted to succinyl CoA. Now next step, this is 4 carbon compound. Now next step is the coenzyme A is removed. So succinyl CoA is converted into succinate. So succinyl CoA is there, and Succinyl-CoA synthetase, it removes coenzyme A and synthesizes the formation of succinate, which is again 4-carbon compound. Now here the GTP is produced from GDP plus PI. So GTP is equivalent to ATP only. Okay. So here GTP is the energy, energy which is energy produced from GDP plus PI, just like ATP, which is also equivalent to ATP. Now succinate is converted into fumarate by the enzyme succinate dehydrogenase, which catalyzes dehydrogenation. So if you look at the structure of succinate, the hydrogen is removed. This is called dehydrogenation, and double bond is created. This reaction is called dehydrogenation and catalyzed by the enzyme succinate. Now the succinate, after the removal of hydrogen, is converted into fumarate. So this is again 4-carbon compound. Now the water is added by fumarase and the fumarate is converted into malate. So this is how the water is added to not across the double bond, but in some other form. So it get converted into malate. Okay. Now this malate is converted into oxaloacetate. Okay. So you can look at the structure of oxaloacetate. The malate is converted into oxaloacetate by the enzyme malate dehydrogenase. So again, the malate, from the malate, the hydrogen ions are removed by NAD, and NAD is converted into NADH plus H, and malate is converted into oxaloacetate. So again, the hydrogen is removed. This reaction is catalyzed by malate dehydrogenase, and the oxaloacetate, it will regenerate the citrate. So oxaloacetate at the end of each cycle is get regenerated, and this will help in regenerating the first intermediate, or you can say metabolite, citrate. Now over here, if you understand that whatever these all are intermediates, oxaloacetate, citrate, they are also known as metabolites. They are also known as substrate and product. How? See, if you look at this reaction, fumarase. So for the enzyme fumarase, the substrate, it will act on fumarate. So fumarate is the substrate for fumarase. And if you look at the succinate dehydrogenase, then what is the product of succinate dehydrogenase? It is fumarate. So fumarate is acting as a substrate as well as product. So this is what is the Krebs cycle, and this is how the biochemical reactions are there which are catalyzed by the enzyme. So if you look at here, counting the total number of, or you can say the overall reaction, before that we will count 3 molecules are water are used, 1 is released. See, 1 over here, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. Okay, so 3 are used and 1 is released. So you'll find that 1 is released here, whereas if you look at the arrow, 3 are used. 2 CO2 are released during the decarboxylation. 2 CO2 are released. NADH 3 are produced. So where all? One is this reaction, isocitrate dehydrogenase, then alpha ketoglutarate dehydrogenase complex, and then malate dehydrogenase. 1 FADH2 is produced. So if you look at this reaction, succinate dehydrogenase, 1 FADH2 is produced. 1 GTP is produced. So over here, synthetase produces 1 GTP. 1 glucose produces 2 acetyl-CoA, that we have already seen in the intermediate reaction. Oxaloacetate is regenerated after the end of each Krebs cycle. Okay, so if you look at the overall reaction of Krebs cycle, then 2 acetyl-CoA plus 6 NAD plus 2 FAD plus 2 GDP plus 2 PI gives 4 CO2 plus 6 NADH plus 6H, 2 FADH2 plus 2 GTP. Because here if you see, these calculations are for the one acetyl CoA. Here we are considering one. So if two are there, because one molecule of glucose produces two acetyl CoA, everything will double. So this is the overall reaction of Krebs cycle. So we'll continue with the electron transport chain in the next video. Thank you.